In other news, the American College of Financial Services recently launched a national campaign to help educate families about working with financial professionals. I sat down with President George Nichols to learn more about it. Take a listen.
Well, the American College of Financial Services is almost 100 years old, and this is the first time we've ever done a consumer campaign that's focused on the specialists need specialists too. And really what you think about is Americans are aging. Their situations are getting more complex as you look at the uncertainty in the economy. And we're wanting to promote that in order to meet consumers' financial needs, we need specialists that focus on taxes or retirement or estate planning or special needs. So that's really what this campaign is about.
Are there people that aren't designated who are giving out financial advice? And what potentially could be a consequence of working with someone who doesn't have a specific expertise?
Well, the first thing is for an advisor, they got to be licensed, whether that's insurance or securities license. So they have to get licensed first. Otherwise, they're not going to be in the business. So you at least have that part. But what we have found, and research has shown it, that those people who've gotten and invested in education to be designated as specialists or to get more advanced training, they are going to provide better advice to their clients. And remember, these decisions could affect you 30 to 40 years from now. So it's really important that they have the knowledge. And we've actually done outside research. We had an independent firm that came and looked at us and said, if you have a designation from the American College, you're 35% more likely to retain your clients. You're 13% to increase your earnings, and you're 5% at being a whole lot more productive. So when you think about those things, that's really what this campaign is promoting, so that people know that's the kind of folks I want to look for.
When looking for an advisor, how can you find out if someone has the specific license and designation that they need to help with a particular area?
Well, that's a great question, and that's part of the other challenge is you have an advisor that says, oh, I specialize in all these things. No one knows whether or not that's true. But we are launching a new website called youradvisorguide.com. And on that site, if you're looking for a retirement specialist, we're going to make sure that the only people listed on that is someone who's a retirement specialist or estate planning or special needs or philanthropy. So we're actually creating a website for consumers across the country that can go in and validate that the specialty that I need, that advisors had actual training and advanced education in that designation versus someone who just says, well, I'm really good at these things, which you may or may not know.
Your research shows a strong link between credentials and advisor performance. Can you share more about that?
The first thing I always say is that if you're more knowledgeable, you're probably going to be more confident. And we found that our advisors are more confident, and that if they've had one designation with us, they actually are operating at a much higher level than advisors who don't have a designation. And we've actually been able to prove that based on their overall production. We've also been able to show that if they had two designations from the college that really focuses on this specialization, that they're doing even better than someone with one. So we have outside independent research that says you want to work with an advisor who has a designation, who's invested in their education. They're going to be more confident, they're going to be more competent, and that you're going to find they're going to be actually better at giving you the right advice that's really critical for your financial security.
All right, and how does the American College's 100-year legacy help impact and shape this campaign?
You know, it's funny, when we think about a specialist, let's think about a doctor. You think about cardiology. Well, and I mean, heart surgery goes back years and years and years, and it's a specialty. Well, the American College was the first college to ever offer professional designation in the United States. So we go back as an organization that started this profession of getting people more credentialed, giving them more of an education. So for us right now, it's really exciting that I've got a 100-year legacy. We were the first professional designation out there. And now we have gotten to the point that there's a recognition that you really need specialization to help get families and individuals through the complex matters they're going through today.
What is your hope for this campaign?
My hope is that, one, consumers are going to go to our site. They're going to be able to find an advisor that meets their particular needs. They're also going to learn how to work with an advisor. You know, one of the things that we also found in research was 68 67% of the people said, I'd love to have an advisor that has the credentials. 30% of them are the only ones that knew what that even actually meant. So we want to actually help them understand Ashley's invested in her career as your advisor, and we want to promote that. So how do we work with Ashley? She's got the credentials that I need. And then it's really just building a relationship to help you with your ongoing financial needs.
And if you have needs in specific areas, what I understand that you're saying is that it's more advantageous to find specialists in each area. How would you know which specialists you need?
Great question. And I think it's really trying to understand your situation, and the advisor should be able to help you with that. First of all, I always think of retirement. Well, if you're getting pre-retiree or you're ready to retire, obviously you want to work with someone that's a retirement specialist. If in my situation, my father had Alzheimer's, you're going to work with someone that has a special needs expertise that knows how guardianship and other financial matters. Let's say you want to leave a legacy and you're thinking about, what do I do with my money in philanthropy? Well, you want to work with someone that has philanthropy. So you're thinking about what your needs are, but your advisor should be able to sit down with you, talk to you about what your needs are, and then come up with a plan that says, okay, here's this complex matter that you want. We're going to work with you on that. There's one other thing I would add that I think is important is I do realize an advisor is not going to be an expert on everything. And what's another part of our campaign is actually helping advisors understand teaming. Okay, I'm good at retirement, Ashley's good at taxes, and so she's on my team. I'm either working with her together so that we can make sure we meet all of the needs of the consumer.